Grace, marvelous grace. Grace.
Hello, how are you, Mr. Masigo?
I am okay, Mrs. Misigwa. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking good.
You're looking good too.
Thank you.
Glory to God. Today we are using this thing to help us get our audio out there clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's keep the conversation going.
Okay. Want to welcome you back from the last episode. To those that are new on our platform, don't forget to hit the notification bell, subscribe so you can be among our community, our growing community, and share, like, comment, engage with us in the comment section. We're always glad to have your feedback with us.
Sure.
Yeah, today we do have rather a unique topic to talk about, and that is basically about reflection. Now, reflection can be in a number of ways. We could talk about reflection in personal life, reflection in your spiritual growth, reflection in your relationships, reflection in marriage. Yes, basically that's what we want to talk around, and maybe we can have to hear from you first before we dive deeper.
All right. So I guess we are talking about reflection in a relationship, and I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to pause somewhere and reflect, because as life is keeping you busy, there are lots of things you need to keep doing right if you are to get to your destination. If you have a vision, if you have a purpose, there are things that you need to keep checking. You need to keep taking inventory. And so I don't know where I can approach this from. It's a bit tricky, but you can just give me something. Give me a glimpse of what the topic is so I can be sure how to start.
Okay. So recently we were having a conversation, and it was basically, we were asking ourselves something like, I think it's important at a given point in time, in life even, to pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I pursuing something? Why am I into what I'm doing? And it gives you a reflection of why you started a particular journey, and also better assess yourself whether you're on the right track. And if at all you need to, when you do have a purpose, or when you do have, or someone with a vision or someone with a goal, you always have to look back. Are the things I'm doing right now leading me to where I want to go, or to the things I want to achieve? You get it? If at all someone is employed in a workspace or work environment, you're always availed with a job description. So it's always incumbent upon you to look at it and be like, am I doing what I was asked to do? Am I doing what I signed to do?
Wow.
So such kind of things. It's important that we not only take our job seriously, but also the things we deem so dear in life.
Exactly.
Could be your personal vision, personal goals, and as you laid them down on your vision board.
All right.
Yes, so it could be in marriage itself, to always remind yourself, okay, I'm a wife. What is required of me as a wife? What is required of me as a husband? Am I up to my game? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do as a wife? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do as a husband? Yeah, so in that line, that's how we're talking.
Good. I think that's a very nice preamble about the topic. And I want to say that in regards to checking your JD, it is something very, very important, because you may get fired for reasons you don't know. It's a very valid topic to discuss, especially in areas broader than just a job, like relationships, because people get themselves in relationships, and along the way, there is uncertainties. But then in trying to solve these problems, they make decisions not based on why they started the journey, So I think that's where the job description of anything, which we can also call the manual, the user manual. If the JD is the user manual of the vision bearer of the company, then how about in a relationship? Who has the manual?
I think you do have a manual.
Where is it?
Basing on where you're standing. As a wife, I do have a job description.
Where does it come from?
And I think it is stated to me in the Bible. My placement as a wife to my husband, what is required of me. And also living alone that, but also as a family, what have we agreed to do? What are our visions? What am I supposed to do? I think it comes back to what the Bible talks of a wife and also what we have talked about too.
Of course, when we talk about marriage like marriage as an institution, the founder or the initiator or the person that came up with the idea of marriage is God. So if God is the one that came up with this idea, then it means he has the JD. He has the manual, and if we are to follow that manual, we cannot find anything but the Bible. Meaning, if we have any issue that comes and arises to challenge us, we have everything. Just imagine someone buys and then they get to start using it the first time they are trying to assemble it, and somehow they don't know where this nut goes and what. There is a manual. So I think that's exactly how we use a Bible in a marriage institution, in a marriage, in a home, because marriage encompasses all those things, the elements that come with it, everything that can affect a marriage. All have solutions in the manual.
Oh, yes. It wouldn't be something you just go in like, okay, let me go and be taken by or carried away wherever the waves are going to take us. But it's important to know that you lay out certain things. You get it? The same way our mandate or our response as Christians, that the Bible requires certain things of us.
Yeah.
And because our relationship with God is an invisible one, we look at certain things and be like, have I walked as a Christian? Did I say something that is not in line with my principles or values as a Christian? Did I offend someone? Is there something I need to put right? So daily reflections of such kind of things are the same we are supposed to bring back to this visible union.
Exactly.
So the other is an invisible union, but we are cautious because we have a commitment to God.
That act of trying to reflect is not like something that comes out of your own ability. If it is in the way of Christianity, it comes by the conviction of the Spirit of God in a man, because that means now the Spirit of God is working in you because you have a relationship, and therefore it comes to convict you of anything. That's why Paul said, I die daily, because in him was Christ. I think that's what you are trying to shine a light on.
Yes. Yeah, the other thing now if we bring it down and zero it down into marriage.
Yeah. Which is a type of...
it typifies Christ and the church. That is the conventional way we've known it. We would want to hear from maybe what you have to tell us about that. What are your job descriptions? What are some of the things you sit down and reflect on and try to align with? Have I done? What are your guiding principles, or what are your guiding maps to what you're supposed to do? The things that you sit down and reflect on. Okay. How do you go about it? Yeah.
All right, that is a good one. I want to say that it's not easy to get every day to try and reflect, how have I done this? neither does anyone want to feel like they are over manufacturing something that has to be very automatic. If you've really gotten a partner whom you call bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, then there are things that have to come automatically, you know. Adam didn't find it difficult to give Eve a name. And so things like that, leadership steps in right there and then. So, but now we've got God's provided way, because in Christianity, it's a daily walk. Paul says, I die daily. And so looking at how we ought to make sure our marriages are every day, being polished every day, you know? It's like a plant. You want to grow and bring forth fruits. You keep watering it every day. So I want to say that God's provided way for that has always been the family altar. You know, before I come to the family altar, there are things that convict me. I don't plan it, but before I come, I want to know, have I loved you the way that I should? Is there anything I need to correct about loving you? Because that is one of my roles in my job description. There's love, serve, and lead. Those are two. If you're to put together everything in the job description of what marriage should be according to the Bible, like for a husband, yes, the husband position is to love, to serve, and to lead. You know, some people will say, how can a husband serve? But Jesus Christ exercised it. He's the husband of the church. But when he came, he served man. He washed their feet. Because we are supposed to serve one another. So there is service in the leadership of a man. And so on a daily, I have to exercise those things. I have to love you. I have to serve you in a way. And I have to lead you. So each one of them has different things under it. Could be another video for each one of them. And so that keeps checked. So those are the things that I don't plan about it, but it comes just inherently. And then I find that when we come to the altar, we take time and dive into all that. If there is anything that I need to apologize about, then I make it clear that we go to bed when we are happy. Before we pray, not even to bed. Before we pray, we have to reconcile. If anything happened, that is it. So in a daily, we check each other. We check how we progressing. That's the importance of a family altar. Because God himself used to come and visit Adam and Eve in the garden every evening. So I think that's the only way we can track and see, are we still having a marriage? You know, some people have taken these things as things that you can forego, right? Probably you get married and eventually, before the marriage really is grounded, something happens and two people live separately for some reasons, the challenges of this world. And so when you do skip such foundations, it is very, very real that something is building up that you cannot notice. As much as there's a couple that is on a daily basis, they are ironing out issues, they are thinking about their vision. There are people that don't have that time. And those things can come back even if it is 10 years or 40 later. That's why it is important that a young couple stays very close to one another for the very first, years of building a foundation. Whether it means how long, but the foundation is always important. So that's how I do. Yes. How about you?
that was quite interesting. But I maybe just to have it clear from your end. Do you say so? These things come off so naturally if you are in the know of what you're supposed to do, right?
Yes, they come naturally after you've discovered the why marriage. Because these are things we expect that people try to find out before they enter marriage. At least find out. Because I don't expect someone to think that marriage has something, there's too much around it. I often get myself thinking that there is life and there is marriage. And those two things have to go on. There are people who are not having a good marriage, but they are alive. So when they get to 8 years, we don't say their marriage is successful because life is just allowing them to coexist. But if they didn't hold the principles of marriage up to that age, it's not necessarily that because they are still together, it's a successful marriage. It's the fruits, the impact of it. Have they at least, laid a good example to the people coming from the people coming after them? But I cannot every day have a book where I say, how have I performed here and here and here? So it has to be automatic because typing it with Christianity, Christ and the church still, Christianity is supposed to be automatic. You don't have to make up things and say, today what am I going to do to please God? No. You have to just be a believer. Then the rest will come. Oftentimes the prophet says that a sheep doesn't have to worry how the wool, how to manufacture wool. No.
It has to be a sheep.
Yeah, the only thing it has to do is to stay a sheep. But when you start saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this to please God, then you're going to get, like it types it with a buzzard getting peacock feathers and saying, yo, look, I'm beautiful. Yet inside the nature is not of a peacock. So the point here is, you have to understand the vision God had when he was creating this institution of marriage. And when you understand it, the revelation of it, then when you believe it, then you are going to do these things automatically.
Okay. Speaking of your roles, have you ever reached a point and felt you're falling short of any? Have you found some challenges and how have you gone about them?
All right. That is something that comes in every day. When you talk about challenges, we are living, we are in life, and life is full of challenges. So that's why I said God has a provided way, and it is family altar. So before I come to the altar, if I've not loved where I have to, as I'm supposed to, then I'm going to have a conviction. If I have not served where I have to, then I'm going to have a conviction. Also, leadership. How have I shared anything? Have I, shared some exhortation? At least encourage you in the word, or share some words of encouragement, or some new ideas, innovative ideas with you. All that falls into leadership.
As far as I'm concerned on how you've spoken to us, I think it works so easy and very relatable when you are in the know of what you're supposed to do. That's when a conviction applies. Like, oh my God, I've not done what I'm supposed to do. You'll always be convicted, right? So if you're in ignorance, like, how am I even supposed to lead? Am I supposed to lead family fellowship? Am I supposed to encourage my wife in something? If you are not in control of, these are my responsibility, this is my thing to do. If I don't do it, no one else is going to do it. So then someone can just, we can just choose to go on with life if at all we feel like something is not for us to do. But where our responsibilities come in is that if I know that as a wife, I'm supposed to submit, I'm supposed to help, I'm supposed to reverence, and I'm supposed to do the things that are commonly known for us to do. In that sense, I be in charge. Like, I ask myself, have I been helpful today? Have I found out where my partner needs encouragement? Has he gotten something that has broken him down? Can I speak something to help him out? Have I heard him out? Has he spoken to me something? Have I internalized it as he wants me to receive it? Things like that. Now, those things keep happening, and I think, in my view, at any one given point, when you find yourself off of your responsibilities, some point, honestly speaking, we all have to go back to God and say, God, I can't do this. Help me, give me that grace and all that to help us in our daily walk as we fulfill our daily responsibilities. Now, I remember a very funny incident. I don't know if I should have even shared it, but okay, it is so funny. Let me tell you, my husband here, one person who mastered some key things, like, don't go to sleep with a disagreement, make sure we reconcile and all that. So I think in the first place, I wasn't taking it so serious. I'm pissed. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. So this one particular day, and I'm telling you so you don't make the same mistake. This particular day, it was even so minor. But then, like, I was like, how can he not notice? So I was just creating my own situation. Honestly, I created my own situation, and then I put him in that position of like, how could he not notice? And I got angry. And then he kept asking, what is the problem? Can we talk over it before you go to bed? Now I was in my own world. I don't know what to say. I just went to bed. And we didn't resolve that issue. I left him. He was still having some work to do. So I go to bed, guys. An insect from nowhere flies over. I was like, ooh. Like, where did it even pass? Every place is closed. The ventilators are sealed. The doors are closed. Where did this insect pass? But then I rose up from the sleep, and something told me, you violated one of them.
Wow. This
Okay, this is so funny, but it is
I just remember the look on your face.
Stop it. Yeah, but it happened. And then, as if that was not enough, so I sit on my bed, and then it was just like 30 minutes after my sweet sleep of, don't bother me, let me just sleep and forget everything. And he just whispered and told me, you didn't have to go to bed without us resolving. I got more angry.
I mean, this is the reality. This is the reality of it. It's the daily work. It's the daily convictions of how to solve these problems. Because the interesting bit is that such a thing, if it doesn't get resolved, could pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up. So, but this effort for every day where you are leaving something unresolved, I think it is important. And that insect knew the...
Yeah, but on that particular day, and I remember he told me that, we have to see, you can't go to bed with issues unresolved. But I was feeling guilty because how was I even supposed to address an issue that I created my own imaginary situations, and I just, honestly, it was so fake. But I was just in that, I don't know what happens to us girls. Sometimes we just, they just want to.
They relate, the married women, really. So I think it calls us, husbands to be gentle with our women, with our wives, so that in situations like that, there's not too much overreaction, because you cannot sometimes understand what's going on, but you have to cope up.
Yeah,
and it's not for long. It's just a short time. And then the version.
But on that particular day, I understood it was just a mere insect. It was just a spirit coming in and saying, this is important. I realized, okay, I said, I'm sorry. I said, God, I'm not going to go back to bed. I'm not ever going to go to bed with an issue unresolved. But yes, it takes, so those are things I wasn't honestly looking into my description of, I have to be reverent, I have to submit, and I have to be helpful. I was supposed to help him understand my situation, and I didn't, because I just wanted him to understand automatically without saying it. Okay.
I wish I had the discernment gift, but I don't. So sometimes such situations, every man needs to be told what's going on.
Perhaps he wanted to fix it, but so there are things that are going to happen, and then on the point of reverencing or the point of submission. Sometimes we have issues, like you can have something you want to be done, but it's not hurtful to, bring your partner on board. Just recognizing that he's my head. I don't have a head anymore. It's just a head. And then I'm telling him this issue. So in my brain, this is another scenario. So in my brain, I had already imagined and I already seen how this is going to move, and I had already planned. And then I tell him, you know what, A, B, C, D, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Like, okay, that's good. How about? His how about was 100%. I was like, how was I thinking in this direction, thinking it's okay, yet it has to go this direction. So that time also told me that, okay, I think this is what submission is all about. It's not that you're going to let go of everything about you, but bring someone on board and realizing that he's the head and could have better knowledge, or better knowledge of that. No, he knows better how to go about something, which you may even think I can do this on my own, but that way. So there are things that we've come to learn, and it is given us, I would speak to myself that in line with what I'm supposed to do, I have got real lessons. I've got real lessons. Reflection in these moments is, have we had an interaction? Did we talk? Did we text? Did we call, talk on phone? Was I in my lane? Did I go overboard? Was I not? You get it. So those things, I think they help me keep in check. And the only way I can know that we keep in check is when I come for the altar, and then we are good, and we are good. Honestly, if we are not good, it will tell. The situation will read like something is off.
And, this is where when the prophet says, under no circumstance should you marry an unbeliever. So the importance is the foundation, when you're building a foundation, you're building, it depends how big the vision is. You're going to build a very big house, you need a bigger foundation. If you're going to build a smaller house, you need a small, weak foundation. So it depends on your vision of marriage, of how you want it to go. So, family altar is one of those things that strengthen families. And you cannot fail to start it and then think, okay, I'll catch up with it the next 5 years. You missed it. You have missed it because some things are just foundations. Once you miss it and you build the walls, everything you're going to add on will be crumbling. So that's the importance that we found in the family altar. And it's something we have been so much blessed with.
Yeah. So yeah, in our, I will wrap up our conversation would say that family altars, being intentional at establishing family altars, they are helpful in both of us to reflect on how has the day gone, how have we lived up to our responsibilities, how have we challenged ourselves into growth, how have we helped one another, where have we fallen short. And if there is anything we would encourage is that an altar is good.
Reflection helps a lot. As someone who practices it, I'd say that it brings you back to soberness. It helps you to look ahead. Don't just stumble into a situation and say, oh, I don't know how this came about. So you are able to mitigate things from compiling, accumulating, and bringing chaos in a family. So by that,
Beyond God.
yes, that God-given way of family altar, we are able to iron things out on a daily and be able to say, what are we going to do better? What should we improve on? And things like that. And it doesn't come from a point of, we are putting ourselves in pressure. No, it's just something that we do just the way we are supposed to do. So that is how it helps, and helps you also to realize God is very important at every stage. You don't have to feel like, okay, you're not accountable to God as a man. So when you keep checking yourself, you realize, okay, God is speaking. Sometimes God can even use your wife to speak something to you, to tell you something, and all you're doing is ignoring everything. So when you reflect and say, okay, she said something, but how relevant was it? And then you listen and then say, okay, I'm going to say this and this on the altar. So there are things you come to iron out and make sure there is peace at home. Because when you have peace in yourself first, after reconciling with the things you're feeling inside of you, the conviction and putting things right, then the peace spreads in our home, and then the next day becomes brighter. And I think that's how we would encourage every new couple to feel like, okay, walking every day like that with God, I think it's a good thing.
That's great. So that's it from our end. That's how we exercise our reflection. It is our daily habit, especially on our altar. You can choose to create your own environment where you feel comfortable to reflect, to share, to let each other tap into your thoughts, your whatever you're thinking about.
Yeah,
or what
by the way, the promise is big. I don't think there are people who have already gotten it, because people fear it, because the prophet says marriage can become either hell or heaven. And so those are the two things. They are too extreme. And we don't want to settle for, we are not in hell, we are not in heaven, we are just there, we are pushing on. No. So the promise is big. So it's for those who are going to go after it. And I want to say that things don't just happen.
People
are
intentional.
Because somebody said in a certain quote that if you are not getting better intentionally, then you are worsening by default. So it's something you have to be determined, you as a person, you and your family to become better people. Because that's the reason why we hold these conversations, to encourage us to become better versions of ourselves, every day improving. Yes.
Yeah. So that is one way, intention about those things. If you're intentional about standing in your responsibilities, you're going to avoid a lot of drama.
Yeah. Of course, there's this drama of things being ignored. You don't have a family altar and they pile. And when they pile, over time, there's going to be an explosion. It can even take 10 years. So 10 years of ignoring something is not safe. And that's why people will say, unless you cross this, but their challenges are tailored to their ignorance. Because if you spend 10 years of ignorance, you're ignoring something, it's going to explode, and you'll teach everyone that is the time that everyone has to come to realization of certain things. But yet, if you are intentional at foundational level, you're going to say, for me, this thing, from day one, I'm going to practice it. And that is the family all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Hope you've learned a thing or two. Don't forget to put your thoughts in our comment section. Engage with us. To the new ones, we still encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we shall see you in the next episode. God bless you. Shalom.